I picked up the cinder block, and I smashed her head in with it completely. For 18 long, agonizing years, Joran van der Sloot, the monster at the center of the story, danced around that exact sentence. He was a phantom, a creature of rumor and lies, always just out of reach of the truth. Then, one quiet afternoon in a Birmingham, Alabama courtroom, wearing an orange jumpsuit, he finally said it. He gave the world the ending it had been searching for. But this was only after he'd already tried to sell 5 other, completely different endings to a story that only he knew. Each lie was a new layer of torment for a family already living in hell. Each version was a performance, and he was the star. Hey, find a quiet corner for this one. I'm about to walk you through the labyrinth of deception that Joran van der Sloot built over nearly 2 decades. We're going to dissect each story he spun, each twisted tale designed to confuse, mislead, and mock the people searching for answers. We'll see how every single lie fell apart under the glare of scrutiny, and how one mother from Alabama, fueled by a love that refuses to die, stared into the abyss and demanded the truth from a man who had none. This isn't just a story about a crime. It's a story about a mother who refused to let the ocean keep its darkest secret. Ready? Let's begin. But a quick favor before we dive in. If you find yourself drawn to these deep, dark rabbit hole cases, the ones that get under your skin, do me a favor and smash the like button. Then, drop the one mystery you want to chase next in the comments below. Your suggestions literally decide what we investigate next. May 30th, 2005. Aruba, the island markets itself as paradise, a sliver of white sand in a sparkling blue sea. For the visiting American high school graduates, it was a 4-day celebration of freedom. The air at Carlos and Charlie's bar in Oranjestad is thick with humidity, cheap beer, and the electric pulse of youth. The music is thumping and barely dressed teens are dancing, drinking beer from long, fluted glasses. Among them is Natalee Holloway, 18 years old, blonde, and celebrating her graduation with more than 100 classmates. It's the last night of her trip, at around 1:30 a.m. As the bar is closing, she laughs her way out the door and slips into a gray Honda. Behind the wheel is Joran van der Sloot, just 17, an honor student, a tennis player, and radiating a dangerous cockiness. With him are 2 brothers, Deepak and Satish Kalpo. That moment, that decision to get in the car, is the last time anyone but Joran and her companions ever sees Natalee Holloway alive. The next morning, the island wakes up to a missing girl. Panic begins to set in. Joran van der Sloot, accompanied by the Kalpo brothers, swaggers into the police station, a picture of casual indifference. His story is simple, smooth, and utterly plausible. "We drove her back to the Holiday Inn," he says with a shrug. "I kissed her goodnight in the lobby and we left." He even takes Natalee's mother, Beth, to the hotel to show her exactly where he supposedly dropped her off. It's a cute story, a perfect, neat little bow on the end of the night. Except for one catastrophic detail. The hotel security cameras, which watch the lobby doors all night, never show them opening. Not once. Not for Natalee, not for Joran, not for anyone. His timeline is instantly shredded. His story is a lie. But incredibly, in the crucial early hours of the investigation, investigators let him walk away. For now. Days turn into weeks. The search for Natalee becomes an international obsession. The idyllic island paradise is now the scene of a frantic search, and gossip spreads like wildfire. Under pressure, Joran revises his story. This is his second confession, a new narrative. He now claims they didn't go to the hotel. Instead, he says they went to the beach near the Marriott Hotel. They kissed, they made out on the sand, but he respected her limits when she said no. He then claims he left her there, just snoozing by the fishermen's huts, staring out at the sea as he called for a ride home. The story is romantic, almost poetic. It's also a complete fabrication. Dutch cadaver dogs are brought in, combing every grain of sand on that beach. They find nothing. Investigators check the tide charts. High tide were rolled in just moments after he claimed to have left her. soaking her clothes and everything she owned. There's no sign of a struggle, no wet clothes, no Natalee. It was another dead end. Strike two. The year is 2006. The case has gone cold, but the media's hunger for a conclusion has not. In a move of sheer audacity, Joran corners himself. He reaches out to Fox News anchor Greta Van Susteren, promising an exclusive. Live on television, speaking in Dutch, he spins another tale. This time, he claims Natalee had a sudden seizure on the beach, possibly from drinking too much. He says she was shaking and then just stopped moving. He panicked. He didn't know what to do, so he called a friend, a buddy who handled disposal. He claims this mysterious friend took her body out on a boat and dumped it into the vast, deep ocean. She'll never be found, he says with chilling finality. Fox broadcasts the interview globally. It's a bombshell. For a moment, it feels like an answer. But as soon as prosecutors subpoena the raw, unedited tapes, Joran backpedals faster than a bad stand-up comedian. He sends a text to Van Susteren even before the interview airs. "Everything I told you was a lie," he wrote. "I did it just for the money." He claims he was under pressure, that he just made it all up to impress people. The case stalls once again, plunging the Holloway family back into a nightmare of uncertainty. 2 years later, in 2008, a grainy, shocking video surfaces out of the Netherlands. A Dutch investigative reporter, Peter R. de Vries, had set up an elaborate sting operation. An informant named Patrick van der E.M., posing as a gangster, befriended Joran over several months, earning his trust with cocaine and talk of criminal enterprises. In the back of a Range Rover rigged with hidden cameras, Joran, high and arrogant, offers up yet another version of the story. This time, the confession is colder, more transactional. He claims he sold Natalee Holloway to a man for $10,000, walking her onto a boat and handing her over to be sold into sexual slavery. The audio is muddy, the video is dim, but the words are horrifying. It suggests Natalee might still be alive, a captive somewhere. But just like before, when the tapes go public, Joran dismisses it all. He claims it was just a performance, a sick joke. He says he was lying to impress his new gangster friend. Aruban police can't verify a single pixel of the story. It's another dead end, another wave of false hope that crashes into nothing. By 2010, Joran van der Sloot's name is synonymous with evil, and then he proves it. He reaches out to Beth Holloway's longtime lawyer, John Q. Kelly. The offer is as cruel as it is simple. Give him $250,000, and he will finally lead them to Natalee's body. It's the ultimate act of a predator, trying to profit from a mother's grief. Kelly, working with the FBI, plays along. In a tense meeting in an Aruba hotel room, with an FBI command post set up next door, Kelly makes an initial payment of $25,000, part cash and part wire transfer, all tracked by federal agents. Joran, boastful and covered in tattoos, provides GPS coordinates. He claims Natalee is buried in the gravel beneath the foundation of a house. A search team is dispatched. They find nothing but empty scrubland and gravel. The entire shakedown is on tape. Joran quickly emails the lawyer, admitting the information was worthless. In Alabama, federal charges for extortion and wire fraud are finally filed. But as for murder charges in Aruba, the case remains frozen. October 18th, 2023. A federal courthouse in Birmingham, Alabama. 18 years of lies have led to this room. Joran van der Sloot, now 36 years old, stands before a judge. He signs a plea deal, a 20-year sentence for the extortion and wire fraud charges. But in exchange for this sentence, which would run concurrently with the 28 years he was already serving in Peru for the murder of another young woman, Stephany Flores, he had to do one thing. He had to tell the truth, the whole truth, about what happened to Natalee Holloway, under oath. And so he did. In a recorded proffer, he calmly recounted the final, brutal moments of Natalee's life. They were on the beach. He began to grope her, and she told him no. When he insisted, She kneed him in the crotch. Enraged, he kicked her extremely hard in the face. He then saw a large cinder block lie in the sand next to her. "I smashed her head in with it completely," he confessed. Yeah, her face basically, collapses in. Afterwards, he dragged her body into the ocean until the water was up to his knees and pushed her out to sea. There was no body, no forensic backup, but it was a confession verified by a polygraph test and given under oath. Finally, in that same courtroom, the cameras captured Beth Holloway, Natalee's mother, standing just a few feet from her daughter's killer. After 18 years of sleepless nights, of chasing phantom leads and enduring unimaginable pain, her voice was steady. Her eyes, hollowed by grief, were locked on him. "You have finally admitted that you murdered her," she said, her words cutting through the silence of the court. "You terminated her dreams, her potential, her possibilities, when you bludgeoned her to death in 2005. She looked at the man who had tormented her family for nearly 2 decades. "You didn't get what you wanted from Natalee, your sexual satisfaction, so you brutally killed her. You are a killer." It wasn't a statement of fury, but one of profound, bone-deep exhaustion finally being allowed to breathe. "My nightmare ends here," she declared. "Yours has just started." Today, Joran van der Sloot is locked up in a brutal Peruvian prison, where he is serving a sentence for the murder of Stephany Flores, a crime committed 5 years the day after Natalee disappeared. His 20-year U.S. sentence runs concurrently. As for justice in Aruba, the prosecutors have shrugged their shoulders. The statute of limitations on homicide has run out. Legally, the book on Natalee Holloway's murder is shut. But morally, this story will never be over. It's a testament to a mother who stared down a monster, navigated a sea of lies, and through sheer, stubborn will, pried the only truth she would ever get from the depths. If this story helped you understand how one stubborn, grieving parent can still move mountains and force a reckoning, hit that like button and tell me in the comments, which cold case is the one that keeps you staring at the ceiling at 3 a.m.? I read every single one.
Like and subscribe.